Welcome back to the channel, guys. We've been out of action just for a little bit, but we're back on the road and into it full steam ahead. The first thing we started playing around with was the boat here to try and stop this cavitation issue that we had the last time we were using it. So the first thing that we've done is to change the prop. We've gone from the standard prop to a stainless steel prop. It's marginally bigger. It's a 10-inch stainless steel prop with a little bit more cupping on the prop. The guys from Propellers have been just super helpful in suggesting a few things. They've come across this issue before, not necessarily with the True Kit inflatable, but with other ones. So it's not a new problem, and it's been around. So they've come up with this prop. It's a PowerTech propeller from the States, and we've had it out in the water once, and it made a noticeable difference. Still got a little bit of cavitation there. So they've also supplied us with a Oz Hydrofoil. I've got to point out too, we're not sponsored by them, but gee, they were good for information and they were good for service and everything else like that. Very, very helpful guys, these fellas at Oz Propellers. That was a bit of a free plug, guys. So we're going to put this on, and a skeg guard as well. So hopefully the skeg guard is just something to help protect the skeg. But this thing here may minimise and reduce the last of the prop cavitation that we're getting. So we're going to whack this on. I didn't go into all the details about how to change a prop. Most people who are doing DIY on these things here will know how to undo a nut and a split pin and then swap them over. There's no rocket science there, and likewise with these, but you've got to be just careful how you drill them. And on the underside or the top side of the skeg there, I'm going to put some marine grade Sikaflex or silicone in there just to help glue it down. It will be bolted, but a little bit of glue won't go astray. So we'll get into that. Of course, on the road, I don't have all the workshop tools at home. So this is just going to be doing it by eye. Probably not the way I would recommend tackling a job like this. Normally you'd mark it all out and just have all the gear and that on hand, but we're basically on the side of the road. So I'm allowed a few liberties. One bolt in there to hold it because I haven't got G-clamps and vice grips and that here with me to be able to reach up there. So I'll put one bolt in to hold it. I'll drill the other holes, then we'll put the Sikaflex in and bolt it all down. Yeah, I've just put a wipe of the silicone up on either side of the cavitation plate from the engine itself, and then I'll bolt these things here up and let it sit and cure. It's going to take about 6 or 8 hours, and we'll just let it sit overnight, and then we'll give it a test tomorrow and see just what it does. Hopefully it'll make a bit of a difference. Like, we're not out for interested in all-out performance on this thing, but the last thing you want is something playing up. If you have to retreat somewhere, get back home in a hurry, you don't want things running awry. I guess for those that are interested, all the bolts, nuts and washers there, they're nylock nuts. They're 316 stainless, so they won't rust all fall apart with a nylock and a bit of silicon in there. They're not going anywhere, and it won't cause much of an issue. They're only short. It's not a race engine, but we don't want it falling apart. There's been a few people comment on this, and this is why I did it. We spoke to the fellows from True Kit, and they're interested to see how I got on. They've tried various things as well, and they all suggested the cavitation plate. The props, well, that's up to the individual, I guess. To me, having a slightly larger prop, we're not interested in the speed, but with a 20 horsepower on a boat like this, it gives us oodles of grunt, a lot of torque, and it's probably marginally overkill, but it's the same weight as a 15 horse and probably very, very similar in fuel consumption. We'll leave a link to the previous video with the True Kit and the problems we were having with prop cavitation out on a bay down in South Australia, as well as on the river in Nerang in Queensland. So you can see where we were, what we were doing, and it was having quite a profound effect on the boat. So tomorrow, once this silicon's dry, we'll take it out there and see what the difference is. So love to know your stories, love to know how you solve the issue. Fingers crossed, this is going to make a big difference to this. So yeah, let us know your comments, guys. Cheers. Okay. Well, day 2, we've put our foil on. The idea is to try and compress, not that you're going to compress water, concentrate, I guess is a better word, the amount of water flowing through here and around the prop to help minimise cavitation. This whole exercise has been around cavitation, not trying to get the thing on the plane or go any faster. What we've done, when I put the plate on, I had the bolts coming from the top down, and that was just while I had the silicone there, they're curing. We're in the bush. So I've turned the bolts heads underneath, trying to minimise the amount of interruption and disturbance in the water. So with a bit of luck, that'll help. One of the things, I guess, to remember, if you are drilling holes through your aluminium and putting stainless steel bolts and that in, put some silicone in the holes around the bolts. It just helps to minimise the corrosion build up between the aluminium and the stainless. So we'll give it a go and see what sort of difference this here makes. If we still get a bit of prop cavitation on this setup, we could probably go for a larger prop. But this one here made a bit of a difference yesterday. We'll see what changes happen with this in here with the foil. So hang about, we'll go for a run. One more run. So far I'm pretty happy with the way it's working. Definitely made the steering more direct. Well, we've just given it a fair sort of a run up and down the lagoon there. Absolutely flat stick, and I would think we've had a bit of a win. So between the increased size prop with a bit more cupping and the cavitation plate, foam trim, whatever you want to call it, it certainly made a big difference to this outfit. So yeah, I think we'll call that a win.